What's up, everybody? Diego Call from PunchDrunkSports.com here, bringing you another episode of This Week in Soccer. Now, this week's biggest story has to be Pep Guardiola joining Manchester City next season as the new manager. Now, for everybody who knows, Pep Guardiola has pretty much done everything that he can do with Bayern Munich, with Barcelona, apart from winning the Champions League with Bayern Munich. And as soon as it was announced that he would be signing with Manchester City, which is something that people had already been expecting for quite a while now, there was sort of panic among the supporters of other teams in the Premier League for the simple fact that he has this aura about him from what he's done for Barcelona, what he's done for Bayern Munich, as this manager who pretty much will win anything wherever he goes. There's no chance of anybody else winning. But in my opinion, it's just not true, because if you look at what he's done, sure, he's won the Champions League, he's won the Spanish League, he's won the Bundesliga, but still, he's done this with teams that were by far superior to his opponents, apart from maybe Real Madrid when he was in Spain. But I mean, when he joined Barcelona, which was the first major team he managed, he already had Messi, he had Iniesta, he had Xavi, he had these great players, so he had a team that was already very, very strong, very solid in every possible way. So it's not like he took this team that had these problems or that had some deficiencies or anything like that and he made them great. He took a team that was already great, and sure, he took them to the next level. But still, there was a team that just about any manager could take over that team and do well with that team. If not win the Champions League and if not win La Liga, at least compete for it. I mean, look at Luis Enrique, Barcelona's current manager. He was managing Roma in Italy just a few years ago, and they sacked him because he was terrible. He went to Spain. He had one season with Celta Vigo. He did pretty well. He went to Barcelona. In his first year, he won the Champions League. He won La Liga. And he's considered one of the best managers on earth right now. I mean, he took over a team that was already perfect. All you have to do is pretty much tell them, give them a few pointers and how you want them to play and let them do the rest, and you should be able to at least compete. I mean, sure, he did well to win, obviously, but still. Same thing with Guardiola, same thing with Enrique, they're taking over these teams that are already excellent. Same thing when he took over Bayern Munich. He took a team that had won the Champions League, the year before, or at least had been in the final, I think, 3 of the last 4 or 5 years. So it's like, if you don't win the Champions League, you're at least going to get to the semifinal or final. And I mean, how can a manager who has only managed the 2 of the top 3 teams in Europe, in the world, how is he, considered? I mean, sure, what he's won, fine, but how is he considered this manager that's going to inspire fear into other people, into other teams, when realistically, you look at City, they have all the talent in the world, but they haven't done much. They have these players that don't have the character to drive on and win things, even when things aren't so great. They have Aguero, who's always hurt. They have David Silva, who's always hurt. I'm sure Guardiola's going to bring in players that fit more to his philosophy, but still, he's going into a league where there are 4 or 5 teams competing for the top spot. It's not like he's going to Spain where there's 2. He's not like he's going to Germany where there's nobody other than Bayern Munich. He's going to a league where there's Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, this season Leicester, Manchester United, who next year will be strong. You got Tottenham, who are looking good. You got a lot of teams that can realistically compete for the top spot. So it's not like he's going to an easy league. And if you look at what Guardiola did in his last year at Barcelona, Mourinho drove him nuts. That was the year that Mourinho took the league from him. And Guardiola had a hell of a time, and he said that he had to take a sabbatical because the pressure was too strong after just 3 years as a professional manager. I mean, what's going to happen to him when the pressure hits, when he's got Chelsea competing, when he's got United competing? Is he going to break like he did in Spain? Is he going to be the strongest? Is he going to be a mentally strong manager and keep on going? I'm not too sure. We'll find out, but I'm not too sure. So I'm not looking at him like he's this unbeatable manager and that's going to take City to the treble, winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League, the FA Cup, and winning everything. Talent-wise, they could, but I just don't see it. And I don't look at him as this, as this man that's going to make Manchester City unbeatable, especially in the league. I think he's very beatable. And we've never seen him in a league as competitive as the Premier League. And that's pretty much what makes me curious and why I am actually happy to see him. Because now we got a league with, probably Mourinho will be coaching somebody, probably Manchester United. You got, you'll be having Pep Guardiola. As of now, you still have Louis van Gaal. You'll be having possibly Diego Simeone. There's going to be a lot of managers, like also, Pochettino for Tottenham. There's going to be a lot of managers with a lot of personality and who are also, really, really good managers so far. So it'll be interesting to see all these great managers go head to head. Other big news is, in the Premier League results, is Arsenal drawing 0-0 against Southampton. Now, going into this game, I wasn't too high on Arsenal. I pretty much expected, I think I even predicted on punchdrunksports.com, that it would be a 1-1 draw. It was a draw, but it wasn't 1-1, which was even worse than I expected. So, basically Arsenal always tend to do this. They start the season strong, then they get to January, and they just start struggling. They have nothing they can do. They always get themselves to that second or third spot, and then they start to crumble as the season goes on. They don't have enough players. In January, they only signed one guy, and he's a backup to Flamini because he didn't start. And this is just, Arsenal never learn from their mistakes. They always do this. Every time they get close to the title, they don't do the required steps to, they don't take the required steps to actually take that next step forward and make themselves legit title contenders. And that's what happened again this week, and that's what's going to happen again this year. Leicester, on the other hand, they beat Liverpool 2-0, taking themselves farther ahead in the standings. Manchester City also won. No surprise there. Chelsea drew 0-0 at Watford. They probably shouldn't have gotten the win there. They probably shouldn't have gotten a point there. Diego Costa should have been booted out because, once again, being the bastard that he is, all he did was cause problems and, start fights and things like that. Manchester United won 3-0 against Stoke City in a really good performance, probably the best of the season so far. They attacked from the very beginning. They had attacking, flowing football, similar to what they did against Derby County, but this time against Premier League opposition, which makes it way more impressive. And at the end of the day, they got 3 great goals. Could have gotten more. Great performance. Really happy about it. Great enthusiasm going in. And if they can keep this up, 4th place is realistic. Because, Arsenal's looking bad. Spurs, I'm pretty sure they'll keep up their form, but it's not a given. And Leicester, even though they're top of the league, you never know with them. So, any of those top 4 spots. 2nd place is only 5 points ahead of United at this point. Only 5 points. That's very realistic. 1st place is 7, so it's not like they're that far. So even if United have been terrible this season, at least from a performance-wise, they've gotten the results. And they're still right there, If they can put up a run of form together, they could actually end up in the top of the league or top 2, top 3. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Other than that, there's really not much to go on. Spurs won. I think it was 2-0. Barcelona smashed Valencia 7-0, which was, typical Barcelona. But Gary Neville, who is one of the managers who's been touted as to replace Van Gaal as Manchester United, he's not been having a great time. It is his first experience as a main manager, as a head coach, but he's just not been doing well. We think he's gotten a lot of draws after this 7-0 loss. I'm not too sure if he's the right man. I don't think he is in general. We need someone who's got more experience if Van Gaal does leave. But, Giggs, Gary Neville, all these managers who are being, talked about as the possible replacement, I just don't think they're the right choices because they don't have enough experience. That's about it for this week. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Go to punchdrunksports.com, and I'll see you next time.